bones and the tissue that make up bones is known as osseous tissue. So bone itself is osseous tissue. This is a connective tissue, as we've mentioned before, but it has a very hard matrix. And the matrix is made hard by minerals of calcium phosphate and other minerals. So what happens here is the mineralization or calcification that occurs in this connective tissue is essentially going to be that hardening process of the bone. So it's this mineralization and calcification that makes bone so hard. Each individual bone is considered an organ, and each individual bone has common characteristics or features. And each one is going to have bone tissue, or that osseous tissue, bone marrow, cartilage, adipose tissue, nervous tissue, and fibrous connective tissue. And we will see where each of these are located, but usually we'll use the long bone as an example, but know that each individual bone has each of these things. Some of the features of bones can be classified based on their shape. Bones can come in many different shapes. The long bone is the most common one that we have. The long bone is also known as the limb bone. This basically means that these bones are longer than they are wide, and they serve as levers that, again, are acted on by the muscles, so that when the muscles contract, they can serve as levers and move. Short bones are another type of bone. You can see an example here on the bottom of a sesamoid bone. They also exist in the wrist as well as the ankle. Flat bones are another bone shape. You're going to see these. They're usually very thin. They can be curved, and they're going to serve the function of protecting soft organs. A prime example is going to be skull bones that are protecting the brain. But you also see flat bones in the sternum and the scapula. We have irregular shaped bones. We see these in the hip and the vertebrae. You can also see it in the skull with the sphenoid bone. That's a very irregular shaped bone.